Today I'm going to tell you the 5 biggest surprises I got while raising my Polish children in Poland. Boom! Having children is one of those life-altering experiences. In my opinion, what changes you the most. I've never had a near-death experience, and I've never done ayahuasca or DMT or any of those. After I became a dad, my life changed totally. Now all of a sudden, I have somebody that is teaching you so many new things. Not only that, they keep you accountable. You are more aware of the decisions that you're making in life because, you have this little person that you have to take care of. So each and every single day, it was an incredible lesson. And after my daughter was born, I thought I knew. I got this down. Let me tell you, friends, the second child will bring a whole new set of teachings for you. So the first of those surprises was language. Language is one of those elements that has an incredible impact in your development. Jokes that you make, certain phrases that you say and you learn, words that your parents use, all of those things are associated to language. My son, for example, Vigo, who is about to be 8, he was born in the UK. Both me and my wife, we were an English-speaking couple. But then the problem arose. What language should we speak to him? My wife, who had a background in linguistics, said one parent, one language. So I will speak to him in Polish, you will speak to him in Spanish, and of course, at home, we're speaking to each other in English. What we have to remember is that we need to switch to our mother tongue the moment that we talk to him. The first 3 years of his life, 3.5 years of his life, we were in London, and English became his main language. Now, the biggest surprise happened when we moved to Poland, because here now all of a sudden he needed to speak more Polish. Granted, he understood Polish, but it is not quite the same, right? Especially listening to other children. Even another accent in Polish. Have you heard a 3-year-old speak Polish? They sound like me. I wish I sounded like a 3-year-old in Poland. And what happened was that his level of English started dropping and then Polish started coming up. His Spanish just kept constant all the time. But then my daughter came, and that was a completely different experience because, again, Vigo was born in the UK, and it was this whole thing, English, Spanish, Polish, but now my daughter is here in Poland. What is happening here, right? This girl is a full-on Polaka, es Polką. But language and the way that it affects the brain and the way that it affects humor and the way that it affects how they communicate. Like my son speaks in a way that is like a Polish person, like a Polish guy. We laugh all the time. Sometimes he makes a little comment or something, like a little sarcastic comment or something that in Spanish would be even rude. I'll give you an example. Someone proposes, if you want, tea. Hey, chcesz herbatę? Very quickly someone can say, nie, 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 nie. In Spanish, in Latin America, someone says, no. That sounds a little dismissive. It sounds like a little bit rude. We are a little bit more, I don't know, like we living in the 17th century. No, muchas gracias. We're more like, Whereas here it's more like, nye. Like, don't bother me with that. But it's not viewed negatively. It's not viewed bad. You guys see what I mean here, right? Like, it's extremely interesting to me as a person born and raised in one language to see how now my kids speaking Polish as kind of like their main language is affecting who they are as people. Another thing that was an incredible surprise to me was humor. Polish people are very well known for having this dry, a little sarcastic, somewhat self-deprecating type of humor. It's at the essence of what is it to be Polish. Poles are proud of their humor, and they should be. It's a great humor. I really, really love Polish humor myself as a person that has a dark type of humor also. But in the Dominican Republic and Latin America, humor is a little bit more like haha. And we don't like self-deprecating humor at all. People feel bad when you make a joke at your own expense. They feel like, oh, don't be mean. Don't be mean towards yourself. They don't understand. It makes them feel a little uncomfortable. And my kids now being here and having this Polish spiciness and sassiness, particularly my son, of course, is the one that speaks and is old enough already to have developed a sense of humor. He is totally Polish in that sense. I laugh at my wife sometimes when he makes certain jokes, and I said, look at that, he sounds like you. And she's laughing, and I know that deep inside she's like proud, and she's like, yeah. But it is one of those things and those elements that I never would have imagined that has such a predominant role in someone's life. Being in a certain country, surrounded by a certain group of people, it will affect the way that you put together sentences, words, the way that you put together thoughts, and therefore the way that you express yourself through the art of humor. A little bit of banter. I, for example, sometimes laugh it off because, you know, being a Dominican Latino, we are slow, and sometimes I tell to my son, we use this word ahora. Ahora is now, teras. Very often when he asks me, hey, Dad, can you do this, or can you help me with something? I'm like, yeah, Vigo, ahora. And he's like, yeah, but is it Dominican ahora or is it Polish ahora? And I'm laughing because, you know, it's like a little dig, right? Like a little dig, like pointing at me a little bit, and that is so Polish. When my mom is visiting us, I always make sure that I am kind of like coaching him a little bit through the subtle art of humor. My son is my son, and I don't want him to stop being himself, but I have to tell him, I have to explain to him why certain jokes or certain words or certain phrases, although funny in Polish and to Poles, might not translate the same way to, you know, his Latino family. And I would love to hear what you have to say. If you have children also from a mixed marriage, how are your children when it comes to humor? Let me know in the comment section. So I'll read you and I will respond to you. The third thing is cultural mix uniqueness. My children are mixed, and in Poland there's a very big homogeneousness component to the culture. In other words, Poland is just full of Polish people mostly. Yeah, granted, there are a lot of Ukrainians now, or some Belarusians, and you know, there are more foreigners for sure. Having said that, if you take the overall arc of Poland, mostly Polish people. So my children kind of stand out to some degree. Immediately, when you think about mixed children, which many of you mixed families understand that, oh, we talk about mixed children, people think always a mix of a black-skinned person with a white person or an Asian person with a... But you also have other elements like texture of hair, like facial features, things that immediately lets you feel, especially to a local, that this person I don't think is necessarily from here. Now, my son is a local, right? Let's face it, my son is a native. He was not born here, but his mom is Polish, speaks Polish from birth, moved here when he was very young. So when he speaks to you, it's like, yeah, he's a Pole. Funny story, when we go to the doctor, sometimes they see him and they see me, and they ask me like, does he speak Polish? And I'm like, oczywiście, on jest Polakiem. And then Vigo starts speaking Polish and they're like, oh, no, dobra. But still, there is an element of just uniqueness to who they are as people. They are not entirely Polish, but when they go to Dominican Republic, they are also not like entirely Dominican. For the most part, they exist in this reality of uniqueness. And here in Poland, things are changing. We have never really encountered anything negative. I've never had my children come to me, my son, saying, listen, they are making fun of me because I'm Dominican or because I don't look like a regular Polish kid. Like, I've never had that problem. We feel very welcomed. But there are differences. Like when he takes his śniadaniówka to school, his lunchbox, and he opens it and it has rice and beans and avocado and plantain, and it's like, this is not kotlety schabowe I ziemniaki. And I am sure that it is a conversation piece for him at school, and I am sure also that it creates more interest in, you know, whatever it is that is happening around Vigo's life. I'll give you another great example. Our night routine, when we're putting the kids to sleep at night, we are a loud family. We have a lot of that Latino-ness in us, you know, and more power to my wife that has adapted to that. But the night routine, my kids are in the bathtub, showering or whatever, playing, and I am playing some, you know, Bad Bunny or some salsa or some merengue, and it's just loud. Did you know that around 30% of the people that watch me here on YouTube live outside of Poland? I was shocked. I thought that the number would be smaller. There's a lot of you out there that don't reside in this country that watch my weekly videos about Poland, Polish culture, Polish people. Perhaps you watching me right now and you're wondering, what would it be like living in Poland, working there or studying there? Maybe no. Or open up a business. Maybe you're wondering, what is it like having a business in Poland? That's why today I've partnered up with today's video sponsored Siami. Siami is a accounting and law firm that specializes in helping people acquire their residence permit. But all done the right way. You know me, you know my pedigree, and I've always been not only respectful of you, my audience, but I do my due diligence, my background check, and I don't come and partner up with just anyone. So if you are in that unique position where you don't know how to go about this, you want to work here or you want to study, but they're asking you so many things, well, Siami literally grabs you by the hand, step by step, and will help you acquire this document that is, believe me, so complicated. And it should be complicated. Poland should guard its borders. Siami has helped more than 1,000 clients. Think about that, 1,000 clients. The next one could be you. I'm leaving their link in the description box below. Go check it out. They have a lot of information, what you might need, what you might not need. Book a consultation with them. They'll sort you out. Thank you for your patience. Let's continue with the episode. Another big surprise for me was health consciousness. Poland is a country that breathes and lives medicine, medication, and anything that revolves around making sure that you are healthy. Turn on the TV and you're gonna find immediately all the ads proposing different medicines for your belly, for your skin, for your head. It's almost like it never stops. Not only, you know, like big pharma type of medication, but also you have home remedies, Slavic magic. You talk to someone, anyone, you say, I have a cold. You need to have some onion. But not only that, seasons are very heavily defined by the ability to get sick or not get sick. That one was a mega surprise as a parent in general for me. I have come to dread and dislike autumn because you're sick all season, especially when you have children. Children are just magnets for viruses and bacteria and stuff. The point is that there is a lot of importance being placed on the health of children. Here, I believe like up until children are 18 or something like that, they have like free healthcare. There's a high priority to the children when they are sick. They don't mess around. Kid is sick, something happened, you take them to SOR, and immediately, like, amazing. There's a lot of routines here that, hey, go to the doctor, go get checked, go this, study. Your son has whatever, a slight speech impediment, you know, get him to speech therapy. In school, they offer different things about healthcare to support the children. It's mind-boggling and very, very, very glad surprise. So the last thing is the community. Poland has this reputation of being a cold country. At first glance, it feels a little cold. People feel a little bit distant. No point in going around that. At the beginning, they're not friendly when you don't know them too well, when they don't know you too well. There's something magical that happens here once you build a circle of friends, and that is then all of a sudden, the community vibe feels very strong. You feel that you have a group of people that you can depend on and that they feel like they want to depend on you too. If you would have told me this when I started visiting Poland at the beginning, I wouldn't have believed you. I was very aware that, especially as a Latino, Polish people felt very distant. Okay, I always thought why it would be an amazing place to raise a family here, but I never would have imagined that you could feel such a great community vibe in Poland. I feel, though, that it takes a while to develop that, and you have to be willing to put in a little bit of your building blocks too. You cannot let, let's say as a foreigner, you cannot let that slight distance deter you from trying to make a deeper connection with somebody. And usually it all starts with something. So let's say you have a son or you have a daughter, and then eventually the daughter, you know, has a friend, and you agree with the family of that other little girl to get them on a play date. And listen, you have to do your due diligence. Like my wife did that. My wife was the one, when we moved here, we didn't know anyone, at least, you know, in this whole area. And she was the one that built those relationships step by step, brick by brick. She would call parents of, you know, kids that she saw that Vigo had a good relationship with, and she would be like, hey, Let's get together. And now we have a incredible community. My wife gets together with some of the other moms alone without children because they like each other. I get together, for example, with several of the dads. I never in a million years would have expected that. I think it's one of the biggest surprises about raising my children here. I highly encourage you to start building your community here, but I highly encourage you to keep trying, because once you unlock that door, it's gonna be like a beautiful paradise awaits for you inside those doors. I hope you guys like this episode. I know this is a kind of like a niche episode, it's not for everyone, but I do get a lot of requests for content about raising children in Poland and different things, and it's such a big part of my life that, I feel that someone might find it useful. See you on another episode. Bye-bye.